welcome back to our YouTube channels. Our topic for today is here's how you can profit from futures trading. Many of you, especially for those who don't involve yourself in futures trading, you might have this doubt whether I can make profit from futures trading itself or not. So this topic itself, we are going to cover exactly whether we can make profit from futures trading and what are the methods or what are the trading ideas that we can have it, or what are the areas that we can take note of so that we can profit from futures trading itself. Now this topic is more suitable for those who have the doubt, which you do not know whether you can make money from futures trading itself. But for those who already started futures trading, definitely you're being convinced that via futures trading you can make money. That's the reason why you have involved yourself in futures trading. So this topic itself, we are more focused towards beginners, for those who not yet involved yourself in futures trading, and we are going to provide to you some elements to prove it to you whether futures trading itself can be profitable or not. Now, before we continue, as usual, if this is your first video, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channels and on your notification bell. My name is Ting Ting. Now, before we start, we need to do a disclaimer. Our topic for today is only meant for education purposes. There's no buy or sell call, especially this topic itself, because we are going to have a market outlook on one of the products. So this is only meant for education purposes. There's nothing about buy or sell call. Now, before we continue with the topic itself, whether futures, is it profitable or not? First of all, we need to understand what is a futures contract or what are futures contract. I'm not going to come from academic perspective. If I'm going to come from academic perspective, no matter how I define it, it's definitely very difficult for you to understand. Now, I'm trying to come from a layman perspective to explain what is exactly a futures contract. Now, a futures contract, you can see the terms itself is already meant contracts. You can see the terms contract, meaning futures itself is a contract. It's like agreement. They already divide everything. So when you buy, when you sell, you are buying and selling a contract itself. Now, futures itself, any product can be a futures contract. We can categorize any of it into a futures. Like for example, I'm not quite sure whether you're aware or not, like even we have our orange juice futures contract. Anything can be a futures contract. Even one day, if many people transact iPhone itself, we can have an iPhone futures contract. You will not be too surprised. So futures contract itself, like for example, if I'm going to have an iPhone futures contract, if I'm the one who coming up with the iPhone futures contract, maybe I will define this contract, a standardized contract, stating that if you want to buy, we are going to transact is like iPhone 16, for example, the spec. For this iPhone 16, let's say we are going to buy or sell at 3,000, and every time when the market move, it must be moved by 1 ringgit Malaysian, for example. So this is what we meant by a futures contract itself. So when you buy, when you sell, you're buying a contract. When you sell, you're selling a contract as well. The buying and selling perspective is very similar to how you transact your stocks. So I'm not going to elaborate further in terms of this. I just give you some idea how it trades. Now, the next part is we are going to learn what are the two main reasons why futures trading can be profitable. I'm not going to discuss too many reasons, but we focus on two main reasons why futures trading can be profitable so that this can be justified. The topics that we are going to cover today. Then later I'm going to give you some ideas about how to trade in the actual market itself. Now, two main reasons. The first reason is because futures itself, you can have the profit opportunity in both directions. Let me explain to you via a chart in a short while. Now, the second reason is leverage. Now, leverage might be a terms that you might not really understand. It's a jargon. Later, I'm going to use a very simple layman perspective that explain about this leverage. Now, if you look at this particular chart, this is a very obvious uptrend. Am I correct? So when it comes to futures trading, during an uptrend, you can choose to long or you buy. It's the same terms, interchangeable. So, but in futures, the actual word is called long, but as a layman perspective, you can use the terms as buy. So uptrend, we can buy, meaning during at the lower side, we can buy. Then when the market went up, we can sell to close our position. Now, during a downtrend, this is an obvious downtrend as well, so we can choose to sell. We can make profit as well. So let's say, for example, I sell at this particular level. Subsequently, when the market retraces at the level that I want, I just close my position by buying back. I can make profit as well. So the most important keyword is like your stock. Uptrend, you can make money, but don't forget, downtrend, you can trade, but you cannot make money. But for futures, uptrend, I can trade, I can make money. Downtrend, I can transact, I can make money as well. So both direction also you can make money. Another even easier explanation for you to understand is, if we take this uptrend as one opportunity for us to make money, this downtrend as another opportunity for us to make money. Futures itself, for one cycle, uptrend, downtrend, we can make 2 times of opportunity. We have 2 opportunities to profit. But for stocks, similar market direction, similar market movement, we can only make money during an uptrend, which is only one opportunity. Because downtrend, we do not have opportunity to make money. Can you see, this is definitely the advantage of futures trading. That's why nowadays I always encourage people, when it comes to your whole portfolio, you must have different products in your portfolio. Especially nowadays, you cannot have only one product in your whole trading or investment portfolio, because different economic cycles, we need to use different products to continue to make money via the market itself. Now, the second part, definitely the benefit is leverage. Leverage meaning I am using a small amount of money, I can make a huge profit or huge return. For example, let's say if you are going to buy a stocks, the stock's worth 30,000. Basically, you need to bank in 30,000, excluding those that if you are going to borrow from the investment bank or brokers, that we are not going to cover. But majority of the time, we choose to bank in the 30,000. Then let's say if today we make 3,000 of profit, that is 10%. But for futures, let's say if this contract worth 30,000, we do not need to bank in 30,000 to trade or own one contract. We just need to bank a fraction of it. Let's say, for example, 5%. So if 5% of 30,000, we just need to bank in 1,500. There's an opportunity that we can use the 1,500 to make 3,000 profit. So we have 2 times of profit. Can you see that? So let's say, for example, just now your 30,000 we make 3,000, that is only 10%. But here we use 1,500, we make 3,000 of profit, that's 2 times. This is what we call as leverage, because the nature of the products itself for futures is the benefit is definitely the leverage and the 2 ways. Both direction also you can profit from it. Now, once we covered profit, we need to look at the risk involved as well. The more we can manage the risk, the more we are better off. So easier concept is, because when you can reduce your risk, your profit can increase. It's like today, if I'm going to have a business, if I'm running my own business, there are 2 ways for me to increase my net profit. Imagine, do you know what are the 2 ways or not? So how can I increase my net profit? I have 2 ways. One is I increase my revenue, my sales. Another way is I reduce my cost. I also, with the same revenue or sales, I can also sustain or reduce my, increase my net profit. So 2 ways. So when it comes to risk involved, is the cost that we are looking at. So long as you can reduce the risk involved, you can increase your profit as well. So what are the risks involved when it comes to futures trading? 2 main risks also. The first is market volatility. I'm going to explain to you in a short while. The second one is leverage. So if you look at the market volatility, can you see this or not? The market volatility to many of you might be huge. But market volatility itself, we can look at both direction. Everything we also can look at both direction. It can be a positive, it can be a negative. Some of you might say that like stocks, sometimes the market doesn't move. My stock for 1 year, 2 years doesn't really generate profit for me. But when it comes to futures, in a very short period of time, let's say 1 week to 1 month, you can make a lot of profit because the market volatility is high. So whether is it a good or bad, it depends on whether your heart can take it or not. If you can take it or not, if you can take it, definitely market volatility is good. So it involves also how do you manage it. So when we identify a risk, we need to understand how we manage it. That's why we need to learn how to manage a risk. Later, we're going to cover about this. Now, the second one is definitely the risk involved is leverage. So some of you will say, just now positive. The reason why we are going to trade futures is leverage. Now the risk involved also leverage. As I mentioned to you just now, everything we look at both direction because it's a double-edged sword. When it comes to leverage, it can be a positive side, but if you do not know how to manage it, it can be a negative side as well. That's why I need to highlight the risk, then we need to learn how to manage your risk as well. Because still remember just now the example that I have given to you, if you're using a 3,000 or 1,500, you manage to make 3,000 of profit. But don't forget, you are using the 1,500, if you can make 3,000 of profit, you can also lose 3,000 of profit as well. Because both direction, we can have both way. So the most important thing is whether you are in the correct direction or not. Am I correct? So leverage, it can be very positive, it can be very negative as well. So this is the part that you need to understand when it comes to futures trading. The risk involved is definitely leverage. Now, how do we survive in futures trading? Here are the key tips for success. Now, we don't mention about profit first, making profit, whether you can survive in futures trading or not. Let me highlight a few points for you to survive. Because if you are a beginner, you're just about to get yourself started in futures trading, anything is like this. When you start, the most important thing is you must be able to survive. Once you are able to survive, for you to make profit, it will be way easier. It's like doing business. You can see that for first year, for you to sustain in the business is like maybe 10% of you're able to sustain in the business for first year. But once you're able to sustain for the first year, for you to sustain 5 years, 10 years, it will be easier. So first year, your key concept is for you to survive first. Now, what are the key tips for you to success? Let's say if today you are going to kickstart in futures trading. Now, first thing, you must have your own trading strategies and system. This is undeniable. We have so many topics covering about trading strategies and system. I hope you can go and have a look. I'm not going to repeat this. And if you do not have an idea how to set up your own trading strategies and system, you can join our class in the chat box, in the description box for this YouTube at the bottom. You can see that there's a link. You can click on the link to register our upcoming trading strategies and system to know exactly how do you build. Because once you have a complete trading strategies and system, that is the first steps that you must have to make sure that you can be successful in futures trading. Now, the second part that you need to look at it is capital. Actually, capital is part of your trading strategies and system. But I take it out is because many of you might not be aware if you do not really understand what consists in the trading strategies and system. Like for example, your risk management, your money management, etc. is inside your trading system itself. But many of you might not aware. So some of you, when it comes to your preparation of capital, which is part of your money management, you might not prepare sufficient capital. That's why you cannot be successful in futures trading. So how much do we need to prepare is one of the key parts that you need to understand. For example, if today I can use 1,500 to buy or own one futures contract, am I going to only bank in 1,500? Or am I going to bank in 10 times, which is 15,000 just to own one contract? Will it be too much? Or will it be too little? Or this is not a correct way for us to put in 15,000 just to own one contract? So how can we optimize it so that our capital can be fully utilized? So this is the second part, and the third part is definitely unavoidable. You must go through a proper education. Before we start anything, it doesn't matter we want to build a business. It doesn't matter we want to become a lawyer, we want to become a doctor. We need to have some education. Education is unavoidable. And make sure your education is complete. Don't pick and drop. What I mean is, some of them tell me, I can learn through TikTok 1 minute, I can learn the whole concept or the whole topic. If you do not understand the whole flow of it, you only pick certain parts to learn. That is very dangerous. It's like when you drive, if let's say for example today you want to drive, you only learn how to start engine. Does it suitable for you to drive the whole journey or not? Or today you only learn, let's say, parts of the car, or you just learn parking, side parking, or you just learn how to drive. It is not sufficient. You must have the whole picture, exactly a complete one. Then your education is complete. Then only your trading can be complete as well. Now, I give you some ideas. How simple is it? Futures trading can be very profitable. Now, this is the market for this quarter itself only. I'm looking at this quarter only. I'm not looking for 1 year or the past few years, which is very profitable when it comes to futures trading. But even I'm taking this quarter itself, if you look at this is for FKLI. This happens during Black Monday, when every one of you might be scared about it. But if you have the idea, you know that this is a very short term. It's just some reaction towards the market itself or overreacted towards the market. You can see that, let's say you long or you buy a FKLI, in just 20 trading days, the FKLI surged by nearly 200 points. If you take 200 points, each point equivalents to 50. This is according to your futures contract. For FKL, 1 point equivalents to 50 ringgit Malaysia. That is 10,000 per contract. This is only one contract. Normally in futures trading, you don't trade only one contract, but this is only one contract profit in just 20 days. Now, second one for FCPO. In less than 2 months, the market is still ongoing, because right now I'm recording on the first week of November. Market is still ongoing. How far it can go, no one's know. But I'm trying to highlight at this point because I need to put a cutoff. In just 2 months, FCPO surged more than 1,300 ringgit Malaysia. This one is only reaching 5,000. As per today, while I'm recording, market already moved even towards 5,100 plus already. Would it move further? It might be. So you can see that even taking the 1,300 times 25 metric tons, because 1 point equivalents to 25 ringgit, that is one contract you can already make 32,000. One contract, you did not hear it wrongly, and in just 2 months time. This is what our graduates, they are making per contract. So if you're holding more contracts, you can make even more money. A simple market direction. Now, let's say for example, you say that is past. How about moving forward? Now, let's say for example, I take a very simple concept, which is our stock market as a general. If you do not know, or at this moment, first week of November, you do not know what will happen subsequently. Let's say if you have the idea that normally stock market tends to perform better during December because of window dressing. Normally, right, in December, many of the fund, they're going to close their books. That's why a lot of window dressing, etc. Very simple concept. So if right now the market is at 1,620, if you think that this is a very proper level for you to own one stocks, one futures contract, because you anticipate our FKL maybe might be reaching 1,680 or even 1,700, then you can hold from now. Maybe you are going to make a 50 points, 100 points, or more, even more. Or you think that maybe we wait for the market to retrace further near to 1,600, I buy a futures contract, then I hold until the end of the year, which is only less than 2 months. And maybe I can make a profit of 3,000, 4,000 per contract within 80 to 100 points. So these are very simple trading ideas which allows you, even you do not have any background, simple concept, you just trade accordingly because there's a seasonality that we can capture. So you do not need to learn too much. When it comes to futures trading, sometimes it can be very simple concept. You are be able to generate a very good returns already. So when it comes to futures trading, I can do a very quick conclusion for you is futures trading is definitely profitable. It's just that whether you know how to do it or not. And futures itself is very simple, it's not complicated. Unlike, for example, stocks, you need to know the 1,000 over stocks in Malaysia futures stock market. But futures, basically, you just need to understand a few products. Then you can trade accordingly because their cycles is relatively short, easier for you to capture different opportunities, easier for you to capture the market opportunity as well. So I hope this topic itself really helps you to understand or to clarify your doubts whether futures trading itself is it profitable or not, or whether you can kickstart your futures trading or not. I hope this topic itself will help you. If you have further question, you can ask me at any point in time in the chat box or the question box itself. So I hope that today's class helps you to iron out the concept of futures trading. It will be very profitable and how can we make it through. And if you have any question further, you can ask your question in the chat box, or if you would like to join our futures trading strategies and system class, you can at any point in time click on the link in the description box. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channels and on your notification bell, and remember to share our video if this benefit to you and give us a thumbs up. My name is Ting Ting. I'm going to see you in our next video. Bye bye.